Becky Lynch fans need to accept this, something in which we are going to break down in today's video, because everyone is waiting on Becky Lynch's grand return to WWE. The initial belief was that she would be back on the Raw Netflix premiere on January 6th. That did not happen. Now, the good news is she is under contract with WWE. The belief is that she will return to WWE television sometime in 2025 after going on a hiatus in May of 2024. While away from WWE, she has started to branch off and doing various Hollywood projects. Lynch reportedly has told people in WWE that she is still supporting WWE. She's making WWE-related Netflix events, but that there are no creative plans in place for her at WrestleMania. That has been solidified for months now. Then you have to keep in mind on this. While away from WWE, we are getting into WrestleMania season, and she is still working on outside Hollywood projects. I mean, Seth Rollins, he stated on the recent edition of Insight with Chris Van Vliet that Lynch is working on a secret project. I'll get into that more in a minute. Seth Rollins has also talked about how, while appearing on Maggie and Perloff, that Lynch's future in wrestling, it's going to happen. She's going to return. He just doesn't know when. Is what he had to say. I don't think she's seen the last time in the ring. It's not even a mom thing. She had a couple of projects come up outside of pro wrestling last year. I foresee her making a return to WWE at some point. I don't know when. She was working out. She's the best, and she'll be back. And that got me thinking as we inch closer to WrestleMania, because as of this recording, it's around late February, and WrestleMania is in the middle of April, and the card is starting to come together, right? Rhea Ripley, she has her plans. Obviously, they're going to do Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the women's title, and everything is coming along nicely. But there's not any talk. There's no buzz regarding Becky Lynch. And I, as a Becky Lynch fan myself, I was thinking to myself, I think we need to have this discussion. And I wanted to take it to you guys and have an open floor. I think we need to accept and understand and be okay with the fact that Becky Lynch is not returning to WWE television anytime soon. Becky Lynch is not returning to WWE television in time for WrestleMania. She will not be in Las Vegas wrestling a match at WrestleMania 41. Is it possible that Becky Lynch makes an appearance on the show? Is it possible that she makes a surprise appearance on the show? Sure. Do I think it's likely? No. Do I think it's more likely that she is back after WrestleMania? Maybe not the week after, but maybe in the months to come, maybe around the summertime? Sure. And that brings me back to another point, which is the outside projects, right? And I think just like we've seen with John Cena, The Rock, Batista, those talents, what have they done? They've bridged the gap from WWE to acting. And what did they have to do in the process? Well, they had to take time off from WWE, so you didn't get them around as much. You did not get them to work full-time schedules because they're trying to set up bigger careers. Now, Steve Austin and others have tried to do the same, and it's never worked out. You never know, right? She's dabbled in acting, but I wouldn't say that she's had like a huge breakout moment or anything like that. And that's something to keep in mind. But her, her career is still young. And I will also say that she does have some pretty notable projects lined up, right? She's going to be in Happy Gilmore and everything like that. And so I also think you have to realistically accept, okay, she's not going to be around for a while. That's okay. She'll be working on what she's doing. And I think Seth Rollins did give some very interesting insight, no pun intended, on Insight with Chris Van Vliet when he said, my wife loves acting. She's better at it than I am. She's awesome. She's got awesome stuff coming out. Obviously, she announced her bit on Star Trek. I think that one comes out maybe next year. She's got another secret thing that I'm not allowed to talk about that will be coming out sooner than that. People are like, oh, she's on a hiatus, taking a break. She's not even taking a break. She's been working her tail off. She's been hustling. We've been living all over the place for what she's been doing. The shoots have been in different locations, so we've been bouncing around. Spent like a month in Toronto. I think for the Star Trek thing, we spent a month or two out on the East Coast earlier this year, late last year. The other thing, the top secret thing that I'm not supposed to talk about, but yeah, she's been super busy. That's her deal. And so you have to keep that in mind, right? Like it's not a Becky Lynch doesn't want to be around WWE. I don't think it's that. And it's not even that she needed a break from WWE. I think that she is looking at it and going, okay, all wrestlers have a ceiling on their career and longevity wise. And she is getting a little bit older. And I think the fact of the matter is this: when it comes to female talent, they are not put on the same pecking order as men. As much as WWE, and kudos for them to do this, of like pushing women and putting them on the same spotlight of the men in terms of a in-ring ability, having the same matches, having pay-per-view events, having main event WrestleManias, that's great. Happy for them. They should be that. But if you look at it from a longevity standpoint, I don't think women are looked at the same. I think they have shorter careers for whatever reason. Now, that may change under Triple H, but I just, they start families and they don't want to do as much travel, and I get all that as a dad. But I also think that you have to at least keep that in mind. With Becky Lynch, I will give her a lot of credit, and I'll give her a lot of props, because it's like, okay, I may not have the same longevity in wrestling that I would like. However, I can now start to transition it into acting. And to her, she has a real opportunity to become the very first WWE female star to bridge the gap from pro wrestling to acting, and do so in a big, big way, because she has a ton of charisma, right? Like that's never been her issue. So you have to keep that in mind. I think that she's going to do very, very well in acting. I think she has to be very selective with her roles. Um, we've seen, like Batista, he's talked about how he went broke doing acting, and that he would rather go broke again than wrestle again, right? Because of his perfect retirement, everything like that. John Cena obviously has taken time off for many, many years, right? Like 2017 was his last real year in WWE, and even then he took time off during then. And then Rock, he started taking time off around 2001, 2002, and really we haven't seen him full time since what, early part of 2002, right? Which is crazy to think, because he beat Hogan at Mania that year, and then by SummerSlam he's like, nope, I'm going off to Hollywood, kind of thing. It's like, okay. So with all that being said, don't expect Becky Lynch back in time for Mania. Okay, just don't do it. We're too close out. I mean, we still got another month or so, but I don't expect it. Let me know down in the comments here below. What do y'all think?